We're live. Big game tomorrow. Arsenal versus Chelsea. It's the preview. Let's do this. Forgive me, there's a bit of a lag there on my end, but I think we're on now. Let's introduce you to our guests this afternoon. We've got quite a full house. So with me, I have our Armoury TV residents in Gumsa and James. How are we doing, chaps?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Cheers.
Good. We've got two more gooners with us. We've got TonySkillz. How are you doing?
I'm absolutely good, my brothers. Nice to be here. Nice to meet you all.
It's a pleasure to have you. Pranable, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Silver Fox. Thank you, Armoury TV. Happy to be here.
And we've got ourselves a Chelsea fan. He's on his own, so we'll try and go easy on him. We got RCBian and Kit. How you doing, sir?
Perfect. And this has been a long time coming, right? And what a time to actually come finally to Armoury TV. As in, I love you guys. Great content always. And as you can see, the mood behind me, and of course, as in, I'm all set, right? As in, we are here for the game.
Excellent, indeed. So thank you guys for joining us. So let's talk about how we're feeling about going into this game. Let's start with you, Gumsa.
Should be more nervous than I am. I think we've had quite a good record against Chelsea since Arteta's been in. And that was under the Lampard regime and Tuchel. So I'm not as downbeat and as nervous as I am about City next week. But equally, it depends which Arsenal turns up. So it's not confidence going into the game, but I think we can hold our own to a certain degree against Chelsea. I'm a bit worried about Lukaku. He could be. You're getting Drogba vibes from him, so I'm hoping the defense are able to manage him. I went to watch the pre-season friendly game against Chelsea. Wasn't like they dominated us, but they had one pattern which was working for them, and they kept getting in. So I'm hoping that we've addressed that, and actually we'll be able to cope with it a bit better. So, and I think that'll be like the right back area. So I'm actually hoping Maitland-Niles starts. Chelsea are quite nippy around Emirates. Werner kind of moves off onto the left centre or our right centre back, and then tries to get in that hole behind when our wing back goes up. So I'm hoping Maitland-Niles fills in on that side just to give a bit of protection because he's quite quick across the floor, isn't he? And if you've got Hudson-Odoi and Werner going down there, that's a lot of pace. So yeah, for me, hopefully Maitland-Niles gets a start. But yeah, I'm going into it quietly, not confident, but believing we can get something. Hopefully we got a bit more of a strike force than we had last week as well. So I'm not sure if you lot have had any news on Abba and Laka, if they're back or what it is. I haven't heard them. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what's happening there. Maybe Saka to start. Is Odegaard signed in time, or did he miss the deadline?
No, he's not eligible because Brexit. So,
so yeah, it'd be interesting to see our lineup. But yeah, Smith Rowe did well last week, so to be fair, he deserves to start again in that position. But yeah, I think it just depends which Arsenal turn up, really, and honestly, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. James,
I'll keep it short. I'm optimistic, but it's me probably being stupid. I mean, we're facing the European champions, right? So they're expected on paper to win. But we've got results in the past 3 games, and maybe you said it's fluky, but we've still gotten results. So we'll see. I'm cautiously confident. I don't think we're going to win, but if we can take a point, maybe 1-1, then I think that's a good result.
over to you, MrSilvaFoxAFC.
Yeah, Chelsea Arsenal is always one that generates a lot of buzz. Yeah, and this was no different. Not really very happy with the transfer business we've done thus far. I just think we've been a little, for a club who knew they needed to strengthen. I just don't like the way we've gone about our business. It's been really poor. I mean, Odegaard should have been brought in a whole lot earlier. If you knew he was the man, go for him earlier. He should have been playing this game. But be that as it may, now we have to cope with what we have. Thomas Tuchel is a notoriously good preparator for games. He really does his homework on teams. You know, if you look at the way he prepares for his opponents, he just seems to know exactly where he can get at you, and he does a good job of it. So that's my fear. We all on the reverse side, we don't necessarily do so well in taking advantage of our opponent's weaknesses. In fact, what we do is we look for ways to gift opponents goals, and that's my biggest worry with the whole playing out from the back thingy. I think if we can get a performance much in the same way as we did last season at the Emirates, I think we'll do well. I'm not really scared of Lukaku. In teams he's been on in the past, we've handled him quite well over time. All his days in Everton, all his days at Man United, he never really had a game where I could look at it and say, oh my goodness, he really killed us. No, he was always there, but never really did anything. I don't know if anyone disagrees with me, but Lukaku has never really been like a Drogba person that really hurt us every single time we met him on the pitch. You'd always see his presence, but not much. So I'm not really scared of him. I was really scared of a guy called Pulisic, but thank God he's not playing. The Pulisic is quick. Yeah. Pulisic is crazy quick. And his decision making, even as he's quick, is crazy. He's got good finishing. He's quick. He's just a live wire, danger man. I'm really happy he's not playing. So from our part, like my guy up there said, he said Maitland-Niles should play. I totally agree. Enough of this whole Chambers thingy. Chambers is not the quickest. Chambers is not the most nimble. Chambers' recovery rate is not good at all. You need people who are quick on the recovery, people who are fast, and people who can also who believe in themselves, who can take the ball and move with it. And I think Maitland-Niles on a good day can do that. I want to say we can win, but then we need a performance. So that's just where I'm going to end it.
Yeah. Prana, yourself?
I was on mute, waffling on, wasn't I?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I just don't know what to do with this game. I feel like obviously Chelsea are the favourites coming in, but do you remember when Wolves started playing football with their new formation? They came in with the 3-5-2 and they started rolling over teams. I feel like the same thing that's what Chelsea are doing here now with their formation, just rolling every team over. But I feel once teams start to match them in their formation, it's going to slow their momentum down. So that's what I'm hoping for tomorrow. I'm hoping that we can match them formation-wise and nick something out of it. That's what I'm going for. But yeah, I agree with Gumsa. Look, right back problem for us. I agree with James. I think we can nick a draw at best. And I agree with what Tony was saying. Like, the numbers back it up. Lukaku doesn't do that well against Arsenal. Yeah, I'll pass on to a Chelsea fan on that note.
Yeah, let's get a Chelsea perspective on the game. So, Ankit, give us your thoughts going into this game.
There's a lot of interesting thoughts that I have to definitely comment the guys here because, yeah, I did a stream on my channel, right? So basically, there also I had a couple of Arsenal fans. And it's interesting that you guys are probably calling out, like, Maitland-Niles to probably start. We'll obviously go into the predicted lineup, but yeah, that's a fair call. But again, I am actually very confident. I have to say, like, I cannot kind of, say what I don't feel, right? As in Lukaku for me, as in he's turned into a beast. What Antonio Conte has done with Lukaku has been totally different than what it was in Man United. Even in Man United, I would say he was very good. But I agree with, I think, Tony and Prana, where they mentioned about him not being so well against Arsenal. But the fact that he is, I think Tuchel kind of gave it away, right? He's probably going to be playing, and that's what he said in the press conference. So if he starts, that is a booster for the team, because what was missing in Chelsea is the finishing. And I know it's just a one game, it's a derby. Anything can happen in derby, and we've not done well against Arsenal in competitive fixtures in the last 2 years, literally, which is quite a long time. But I have to say, it is a conundrum for Arteta, because I think the pressure, unlike say last time where as in it was still in the building phase, right? So now I think Arteta has to kind of deliver now that he's made a few signings, and the crowd is back. It's at the Emirates, the crowd is back. So the formation that he plays, again, like the 3-5-3-4-3 or 3-5-2, whatever formation that I think probably he'll go for is what I'm predicting. But will the crowd be okay with playing that kind of negative tactic that he does, counter-attacking only? I don't know, at halftime, if it kind of, is 1-0 in Chelsea's favor, I think the crowd will probably get, as in behind Arteta from the other side, right? And that's what something will probably favor Chelsea this time compared to what it happened, say the last 3-4 occasions. I think we did not beat you, right? But yeah, as in again in the warm-up match we beat you. So I know there was a goal disallowed, but again, that's something that we can take solace with, and that was at the Emirates again. But the two people who actually won us last time against Arsenal are not there. I think Hazard, 3 people left. Hazard, Giroud, as well as Tammy Abraham. All the 3 have left. So it's like a new Chelsea altogether, you can say. And hopefully, I'm just kind of hoping that I know that the favorite tag is with us, and this time we'll deliver. And come on, it's not Wolves. I understand from where you're coming, Pranav, but as in winning the Champions League with that formation is no joke. But yeah, as in I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree on what a lot of you are saying. Chelsea are a different animal now, compared to the previous times we played them. But how often have we seen Arsenal go lose to a Brentford, and then go beat Chelsea? So I don't know how to feel myself. But it's going to be interesting. Like you said, it's a derby. Anything can happen. Let's just go into predictions. There's a lot of talk there about Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and I actually haven't really put him in there. I wanted to. I just don't think Arteta will. I think we will go 3 at the back, as we've seen quite often against the bigger sides. I can see Tierney coming into that centre-back trio with Tavares playing on the left-hand side. Xhaka, Lecombe. We'll go on about Xhaka in a moment because Prano, I know you're a bit of a Xhaka fan. What do we think on that potential lineup, and what would you change, or can you see it being different? Prano, I'm going to start with you this time.
Yeah. So the thing is, right, I view Colin Chambers as a midfielder, not a defender. So I'll definitely take him out first and foremost. And that's probably all I'll do with that formation. I'll put him. Actually, I wouldn't. Yeah, that's all I'll do with that formation. I'll just take Chambers out. And if you want to touch on Xhaka, I think Xhaka is a great player who's being marginalised at Arsenal right now. So you're not seeing the best out of him. That's why I believe he has a bit of a negative rep with the fans. But you saw him at the Euros where when he can, show his ability, he's a class player.
Yeah. Gumsa?
I'm glad you threw that to me next.
I knew exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, I've made my thoughts clear on Granit Xhaka. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I do say I have him down as our worst ever signing.
Worst?
And the reasons why I say that is because we've changed our whole philosophy around him being the central midfielder, and we've lost all of our spark and creativity. We've partnered him with Wiltshire, with Ramsey. We then brought in defensive midfielders to play next to our defensive midfielder. So we started bringing in the Torreiras, the Guendouzi. It still hasn't worked. We've now to bring in Partey. He's had so many partners, El Nene, and we can't seem to find a blend with him. And now if you look at us going forward, we are not the Arsenal which teams used to fear. And I feel it's down to him being our linchpin. And again, I'm not saying he's the worst player. I feel he was probably our best midfielder last year, but we've had to sell all our creativity to try and find a partner that balances with him. And that's where I say I think he's one of our worst signings, because we've put the last 5 years into building this team around him and it hasn't worked. So and again, I'm not saying he's a bad player, and I definitely would start with him tomorrow. With regards to Tony's lineup, I think Maitland-Niles hopefully will go in. He just offers that little bit more energy. And Chelsea do like to overlap around the wings, and I think he can get around a bit more. I'm hoping Rob Holding starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
He turns into prime Holdini when he plays Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? I know RCBian has nightmares of Holding. And I think he does deserve to start. Mari hasn't covered himself in glory, and he's only starting because he has a left foot. And we like to play with a left-footed centre-back, so he kind of just gets shoehorned in because he was born with a left foot. So I'm hoping Holding does start with Ben White. Apart from that, Saka hopefully gets in. Pepe, I hope starts. Smith Rowe. I don't know if we might actually go to the 3 at the back. I wouldn't be against it if I'm honest. And yeah, for me, Tierney got to play. Do you know what I mean? And it'd be interesting to see how Nuno and Lokonga get on in a big game like this. So yeah, I think it would be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. And again, I think a lot rest on if Lacazette and Aubameyang are able to play. But it's meant to be 10 days, isn't it? And I'm not too sure when they tested positive. It's the morning of the game, so it's probably not available. But yeah, so on yours, it would just be Maitland-Niles. I think I'll change. That'd be the only one I'd bring in from what you said.
I think most of us will want to see an Ainsley Maitland-Niles in there instead of Chambers. Bit more mobile as well, isn't he? TonySkillz, you brought him up originally, so can you go into depth about what Ainsley Maitland-Niles can bring to the team if he was to play?
Yeah, I used to describe him as Arteta's hatchet man, because I think from the semi-finals of the FA Cup, the one we won, that was last season, no, 2 seasons ago, he was the perfect hatchet man, like an assassin, whom Arteta deployed with great effect. What he does is, if he has a particular player he wants out of the game, he just puts Ainsley on him, and that's it. It's a wrap. That guy does nothing in the game throughout. If you notice at the end of the FA Cup win, the sort of the embrace, or should I say the what do I call it now? The pictures that went towards Arteta and Ainsley Maitland-Niles, if you saw it, it was something really special because he had that look of, man, I gave you a job and you did it, man. Big ups, So when it was being said that he was going to sell him, I was like, Arteta has this thing about Maitland-Niles. He's not going to let him go that quickly, and I've been proved correct. So Ainsley Maitland-Niles on a good day, this is what he brings to the table. He's quick. He's skillful. He doesn't get credit for that too often. He's a really skillful player. He dribbles, and he has that natural ability to be a man and move forward. Where he tends to get a bit funny is his passing. His passing isn't the best. He tends to second guess his passing a lot. He wants to give this man, they changes his mind, goes the other way, and then it goes to the wrong man. His marking ability on a day his head is on is really exceptional. He would take you out of the game. On his wing, opposing players don't like going down that road because he has it all. He's physical. Yeah, he fancies himself in a physical duel. He will go at you physically. He's quick. He's nimble. And those are the kind of things you want when you're coming up against maybe what's his name? What's the guy they bought? Havertz or something. Havertz is not the strongest person. Yeah, but Havertz and Odoi. These are people whom you'd want, you fancy Maitland-Niles against. So I fancy Maitland-Niles if he has to come in and do a job. I just pray that it's one of his better days where his passing is good, no mistakes at the back. His head is really tuned into the game. But I'll just go through my own lineup here. I'm hearing Uber might play. I don't know. I've been hearing on Sky Sports saying that he just might play. He tested negative, so I don't know the protocols around that. Perhaps he's been given the jab already, so if he's testing negative, then he can play. If he plays, it's really good because we need a finisher. I have Leno in goal. White. Yeah, TNM. What's his name? Mari is out. He's soft. Mari is too soft. I don't like what he brings to the game. He doesn't have that whole Premiership mind state. You need a player like Holden who can go in there and then look at Lukaku in the face and say, "Listen, bro, it's on. It's me and you." And then Tierney, of course. I have Maitland-Niles, Xhaka in the middle, Lokonga, Saka wing back, Pepe, Smith Rowe, and if Uber plays, Uber is in there. I think with this team, I think Chelsea will find us quite a difficult nut to crack. But then again, what has been characteristic with an Arsenal team in the past few months is we gift opponents go. We can't afford to do that tomorrow. We cannot afford to give Chelsea gimmies. No, 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 no. You know, they have to make them work. They're good enough already as it is. You can't be handing them handouts, passing out from the back, and then it goes wrong and then they score. That's just going to deflate the entire Emirates tomorrow, and I hope that doesn't happen. But if we're not in early Christmas mood, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah. Before I go to James, I want to get a Chelsea fan's perspective on the potential team that could be playing tomorrow for Arsenal.
Sure. So definitely, like, I kind of agree with the team that you showed, like, Mr. Silver Fox, like, because I also kind of think that, like, I think the boys said, right, as in Pablo Murray, first of all, like, doesn't have it in terms of the strength. And going on the other side, the Chelsea side, I actually expect Havertz to start because, again, I would like to slightly disagree because if you noticed Havertz against Real Madrid, as in Sergio Ramos was left to the floor, Havertz definitely has it in him. He is strong, as in that's an understatement, right? As in he really has it in him. Plus, he has the skills. One person who obviously will be missed is Pulisic, but on the right hand side is someone that you'll play. So again, if say Chambers plays as a RCB as a right centre back for you guys, then yes, as in we have to see it, because I think that'll mean that Chambers, if I'm not wrong, he doesn't move forward a lot, right? He kind of stays there. And with Werner being there, I don't think that'll really work for Chelsea. So I think, yeah, that'll be good if actually Chambers starts. But I was wondering, like, the right wing back, because again, I think probably the best way for Arsenal, I'm just giving a trick there, right? But for me, the best way is counter-attacking on the wings, because for us, maybe we are expecting Azpilicueta to be on one wing, and on the other wing, obviously, it's Alonso, because he's the form man, right? These are two people who have great in what they bring to the table, but they don't have pace. So that's where I think a Saka and a Tierney, that would be, like, for me, like, that would be the great wing back solution, who could be attacking wing backs for you, but only if Arteta decides to actually attack on the wings and probably not play Saka as a number 10 or whatever, as in behind the forward. So yeah, I think that's probably the lineup. In terms of Chelsea, like, I am expecting definitely Mount is a shoe-in. So it depends on how Mount plays against whoever the centre back is, right? As in, I think that'll probably open up the game, really, because I don't see, in terms of creation, Havertz or Lukaku actually coming back and kind of creating a lot more, because it's again just the start of the season, right? But Mount, he looked really sharp last game, so hopefully he can get the better of the right centre back or left centre back, whoever plays there. And yeah, as in, I'm actually not in the Werner team, so to speak. I know he brings a lot of things to the table, but I'm actually hoping for Havertz and Mount to start. And I think in midfield, you guys will lose it. Like, that's an understatement again. If N'Golo Kante starts, I think I don't think there's anyone. Unfortunately for you guys, obviously, I respect Thomas Partey, the way he plays. Even I think in the friendly, I think, if I'm not wrong, he played well. So he'll be a big miss for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. James?
For me, can you put up your 11 again so I can
Yeah,
see
of
it,
course.
so I can have a look at what I'd go for? Because I'd get rid of Chambers, and as most people have said, I'd bring in Ainsley Maitland-Niles. So my 11 would be Leno, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Ben White, Holding, and Tierney. I like Holding as a defensive player. I don't think he's great with the ball, but if he's playing in the middle of the three, he can focus on defending. And then we have two good, players in the centre-back positions. Obviously, Tierney's a left-back, but Ben White and Tierney are very good with the ball at their feet. They can distribute. Rob Holding can just be that player that sits, defends, clears headers, clears the ball, does what he does best, which is defending. And then for me on the left back, I'd go with Tavares. I like the combination of Tierney and Tavares. I've been impressed with Tavares in preseason. He looks really, really good going forward. And I think Tierney has a good combination of attacking and defending. So we can overload left side, which I quite like that combination. The central midfielders, Granit Xhaka and Lokonga, simply because I don't really think we have a choice. I'm not playing on any especially not against Chelsea's midfield. So those are my two centre mids. And then up front, I've gone for Pepe, Emil Smith-Rowe, and Gabriel Martinelli. I don't know.
I'm hoping to spin Kante again.
Yeah, no, I mean, maybe it's because of just a hunch that I think he performs well against Chelsea. I'm not basing it off of the goal he scored at Stamford Bridge when Kante slipped. You can say he got lucky, but he had to finish it and he ran the whole length of the pitch. So for me, it was a good goal. But I think he lives for these games. I think his mentality is a lot different to like a Balogun, and I don't think Aubameyang and Lacazette are going to be fit. I think they're going to both have COVID still. I'm not sure about the reports of Aubameyang having a negative test, but I don't see him playing in a game like this after not training and having COVID. The symptoms that last, I feel like Chelsea's too big of a game to throw him in. Maybe throw him on the bench, but to start him, not for me. So yeah, that's who I'd go with. I think it gives us a good balance, and I think the only way we're going to get a result is we have to match Chelsea. You saw against Crystal Palace when they played them. Palace went to four at the back, and you saw how much they were overloading their right back and left back. That's how they were getting possession and progression up the field. So I think if we go four at the back, we're in trouble. But I think if we can match them up, then I think we have every chance to hinder them. And yeah, we'll just see. But I think we have to match them up.
Yeah, and I'm going to pick up on what Gumsa and James said there. Those that know me know I'm a big advocate of Rob Holding. And could he be a weapon? I had to do this. You know me. Rob Holding, unbeaten against Chelsea in his 7 starts against them. He just loves playing. He just loves playing Chelsea, right? Anyone want to pick that up, or I'll throw it to anybody?
Watch you jinx it now. Watch him lose now because you've said that.
The old curse.
If I was Rob Holding, I wouldn't even play. I'd refuse to play and keep my record intact. It's like he's going to ruin his legacy, man. Like the Undertaker did when he was going 50-0.
And I have a feeling Rob Holding doesn't like playing with Marie because he sort of like cramps his style. Because Holding is all action, and expects his partner to be just exactly how he is as well too. Because if he's like, taking proactive steps and trying to get tight to the striker, and then you have your partner who doesn't actually know what to do next. So in case he gets spun by the striker because he's trying to get close, and then his partner doesn't know what to do, then Holding looks bad. You understand? And Holding's best probable partner would have been the Gabriel Magalhaes or something, who is similar to him. They like to get touch close, so it's like they're asking themselves, who's going to go for him? You going to go first or me? So if you're going first, I stay back and I watch your slip in case anybody goes around you or whatever. Unlike Marie, who is always looking confused, man. But then I would really go for Holding in this game because Holding, I think he has something against Chelsea. Every single time he plays against Chelsea, he's always up for it. The 2 FA Cup finals, remember when he was really much younger back in 2017? I mean, he was looking Costa straight in the eye and saying, bruv, bring it, and Costa was at his... Costa at the time was at his scariest. But he wasn't scared of Costa. He was looking Costa right in the face and saying, bruv, I might be young. I might be a young cat, but, you have to go past me. And Costa was getting agitated. He was getting under Costa's skin. Costa was trying to fight, but Holding wasn't backing down. So I love Holding for games like this because the Emirates will be rocking. The Emirates will be rocking every single pass, every single move, mistakes, everything. The crowd will be following every move. And it's not a game for faint hearts. And Holding is that kind of person. Even he makes his mistakes. And I think his mistakes sometimes is that he has sometimes lapses of concentration. Sometimes he just switches off. It's a criminal part of his game. I wish he outgrows it or whatever. But those moments when he switches off, it can be really bad. But when he's switched on, oh man, Holding is the business. So I'll go for him.
Yeah,
what I'll say about Holding is sorry he didn't cost 50 mil. He is a quality player, and I love him in these derbies. So hope he starts tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I love about him. He's always up for it. Go on, sorry.
But
Go on, please. Go on.
what's going on his hair though? What's wrong with his hair? It's like his hair is here today, gone tomorrow. Does anyone know what's going on with that man's hair?
Yeah, hair transplant, I think.
It's like
Yeah,
Mr. Fox as
He's
well.
got implant money, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so,
go on, Arsenal. No.
Yeah, so what I was saying is like basically I get the point. Like Holding did very well Chelsea, and yeah, I agree. Like probably you need someone who has a character as well, and the closest that you have at the back is probably Holding. But for me, the big question is again Ben White. I know Ben White was slaughtered literally by Arsenal fans as well. Last weekend, but. To be fair, like he's not played as much with that particular team, and for me, like it depends on what kind of chemistry he had, even in that little space that he's played with, right? So that'll probably be the make or break for Arsenal. So I think probably that's the most important thing, because at the end of the day, it's Lukaku. If he starts against Ben White, that I don't think there's any competition, because I don't think he's played him enough.
Yeah. Should we? Let's just go into score predictions. Let's do this. I'm going to start with the Chelsea fan. Come on, RC, let's have it.
Yeah. See, as in again, I don't really like predicting, but I went on record on my own channel yesterday, and I can't kind of go behind any other scoreline. But yeah, I predicted a 3-1 for us. Again, it's with the heart, and my mind still says that it'll be a tougher game than we all think. It'll probably be a 2-1 if I ask my mind, but definitely I think I'll go with a 3-1 with Lukaku getting the first goal of his Chelsea comeback. But it'll be a closer game than what we all think for sure.
Yeah, if you get that first goal, I mean, we've mentioned it before. We have a terrible record once we go 1-0 down. So if that happens, we're probably going to see that again. Gumsa?
My heart's saying 2-1 Arsenal. My head's saying 2-0 Chelsea, if I'm honest. We just lacking goal scoring threat, aren't we? And if there's no fear, Chelsea will probably just step on the gas and go at us. And like you said earlier, RCBian, Azpilicueta doesn't mind getting forward, and Alonso's a problem. He's got real quality in the final third, hasn't he? And then you said you've got then Kai Havertz, he's come into a good bit of form. Werner, if Lukaku plays or as he doesn't, they've got different options up front. But again, it's a London derby, and hopefully we start with some intent. But I do feel if we go a goal down, that's it. It's game over. I just can't see us getting back out of it. So, yeah. But my heart, I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal.
Prana?
2-1. Chelsea are stingy, like really stingy team under Tuchel. So they don't even give away chances. So I don't see us scoring more than 2 goals. The way I see it is we're gonna get destroyed on XG. Like it'll be like 0.14 Arsenal, 3.15 Chelsea. But it's gonna be 1-0 to the Arsenal. That's what it's gonna finish. We're gonna get messed up on XG, but we're coming away with 3 points, man. That's how I see it.
Like it. Tony?
Yeah. It's I usually don't like doing predictions, but I saw the game against Villarreal that Chelsea played, and I watched that game really closely. And there was some stuff that I saw that made me think like, "Oh, this guys aren't as good as that people make them." Villarreal were having so much fun in the second half, and we really should have scored more than they did. Chelsea has a little bit suspect when you attack them from the left-hand side, a particular area where we're strong at. At the left area, Villarreal were getting a lot of joy. So what I want from my team tomorrow is to be really efficient. We cannot afford to waste chances. We get one, we take one. We need to do that because the chances will not be very regular. Chelsea, good thing, an attacking team, they will come at us, so there will be spaces at the back. I will go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. Yes.
Another Arsenal win. Like that. James is usually the optimist here, so let's see what he says now.
I don't know, because I'm always cautious when we play Chelsea. I don't know. In the past, I've been so confident that we were going to win, and then we get destroyed. And then I've been so confident we were going to lose, and then we win. So predicting is so challenging. So Do I go with my head or do I go with my heart? My heart is telling me that Arsenal are going to win 2-1. My head is telling me that it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I don't know. It's not often games when we play Chelsea where it's all action, 3-0 to one side, like 3-0 Chelsea, 3-0 Arsenal. It's always a tight game in terms of scoreline. So I'm not going to go majorly. So I'll go with 2-1 because I want us to win. That's my final prediction, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 1-1 draw.
Well, I'm going to come out and I'm going to say with chest, we're going to get a 0-0 win because that's what it's going to feel like if we get a 0-0. So that's what I'm going for. Before we close up, just a short message.
Man.
Yeah, please do like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Share, tell your mates, get the word around. Any closing thoughts before we do go? Let's go back to TonySkillz. Can you hear me?
He's disappeared, I think.
I think he's frozen. That's it. We'll go to Prana first.
Look, I'm looking at the team sheet tomorrow. If I don't see Chambers in that starting lineup, I'm going to be very optimistic. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it, and that is my main takeaway for the lineup. Okay.
Okay.
Also, yeah, I see a lot of messages going around about supporting Aaron Ramsdale. You know, support Granit Xhaka, lads. Support Granit Xhaka.
I'll tell you what, we're going to have to get you on Gumsa's breakdown at some point. Gumsa.
Yeah, I think touching on what Prana is saying, in fact, let's get behind the team in general. You can see what Arteta and Edu are trying to build going forward. They've brought that average age of that team right down. So we're going to have some games where it's going to look all at sea, but I think it's now we're looking long term rather than short term. So yes, I understand the frustrations. I get frustrated. We all do. But actually, there will be games where when you look at our lineup last week up front, do you know what I mean? I think average age is probably about 20. Do you know what I mean? Pepe was the oldest statesman at 25 is he or something like that? Even in the back line as well, that's now coming right down where Rob Holding's very experienced in that back four if he plays. So we do need to be a bit more patient with the process. However, that doesn't excuse Arteta if he's not getting it right. He might be on the receiving end. But in terms of the players, let's get behind them guys now because they are a young team and do you know what I mean? It's time to build for the future. So I'm happy in the direction we're heading. And even if the results and performance isn't great, I think long term, we're going to be in a better position than we have been for the last 5 years. So let's just stay a bit patient.
Yeah. I'm going to allow our Chelsea fans to have the last word. So let's go to James first, and then we'll go back to TonySkillz.
Just hopefully to see. I know there was quite a few unsold tickets for the game. I don't know if that's still the case. Like I can see why, but I just want to see a good atmosphere. Like we have the protest before the game. That's fine. After the game, do whatever you want. But for those 90 minutes, get behind the team, back them, bring the energy, and be that 12th man because we're going to need it. As I said, we're playing the European champions. We're going to need all the advantage we can get. So as long as the crowd is loud and back in the team, I think we'll be okay. And massive shout out to our guests, by the way. I've really enjoyed this show. So much love to you guys. Lots of good opinions and pleasure to meet all of you.
100%. TonySkillz.
Yeah, guys. Fantastic being here. Great being with you guys. You guys have been amazing. I just want us to get a positive result because I think there's a lot of overreaction regarding the last defeat we had. I mean, people can still lose football games, man. But it looked like the end of the world because we lost to what's their name, Brentford. So yeah, a lot of overreaction regarding that defeat. It's just only one game, so I wanted to quickly address that and get back on track and put some points on the table. I'm happy with the draw because it's still, like I said, early days. But yeah, I want the team to play with heart. I think, like most people would agree, if you see a team that is trying and is still getting beat, it's a lot better than seeing a team that's not giving nothing and then still losing. If you see a team that's playing with heart, playing with belief, playing with that whole passion, but then you can clearly see the people they're playing are way better than them, it's easier to take. You get beat by that, you just say, hey, they're better than us. But, we don't want to go there and then stink the place out with mistakes here and there. And no. So I just want to see a good game. Hopefully we win. So the next time we're here, we're it's happy days, yeah?
Absolutely.
Can I add one more thing quickly?
Go on,
Can I add one more thing? Can I add one more thing quickly? So last year, the game against Chelsea kickstarted our season. So I'm going to say thank you in advance to RCBian. You guys give us a little bit of charity. Let us get our season started with another win against you guys. So thanks in advance.
And you're welcome.
Well,
for last season.
Counter that. Go on.
Yeah, as in I remember that. How can I forget? What happened? In a way, I think Lampard's probably downhill phase. Started. In 2020, right? And that was against Arsenal. So for us, it's time to basically get the favor back. Obviously, one way is definitely being called to this channel and getting a lot of views. And definitely, I respect you guys. Great channel again, guys. I think if you guys, anyone watching, definitely subscribe, share, because I love Armoury TV, and I hope that you guys will also come on to RCBian Chelsea Fan TV. I don't have a bigger team, but I would love to have you as part of an extended team. But yeah, that doesn't mean that I'm going to be supporting Arsenal, but I have to say that I cannot be buzzing more than what I am, right? As in, obviously, like the guys said, like the champions of Europe, again, Super Cup winners. It was a close game. I get the fact that we weren't at our best against Villarreal, but I think, again, that was preseason, end of preseason, right? And so I actually feel that this is the game which will probably charge the players even more because of it being in the Emirates and the crowd. That's how Chelsea has been, right? As in, against the wall, we always tend to perform. And Tuchel, the tactician, he's unlike, say, Lampard in the past, like probably will know better what to expect from Arteta. For sure, there'll not be any own goals. I don't see Kepa starting, so you're not getting that this time. But yes, certainly looking forward to it, and hopefully, we will chat again after the win of Chelsea.
Excellent. Thank you very much. It's been great having you guys on. Gumsa, James, as usual, our Army regulars. Just before we do go, I want you guys to let the people know who are watching now where they can find you. So let's start with you, MrSkillz.
On Twitter at TonySkillz.
Is he frozen again?
TonySkillz without this. Without the Z. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, so you can find me on Twitter at TonySkillz without the Z. So that's TonySkillz without the Z.
Excellent. Prana.
Cheers, guys. You can catch me at Prana Boy as written on all the socials, and you can follow my page as well, Balance and Ball. Big up, thank you, lads. Like and subscribe to Armoury TV. Big up again.
Thank you very much, Prana. And last but not least, RCBian, where can we find you?
Yes, again, thanks again. But yes, I do have a YouTube channel. It's called RCBian Chelsea Fan TV. So I know the name RCBian may not ring a bell to many, but for those cricket followers out there, RCB is a cricket franchise. I am from Bangalore, originally in India, but yeah, as in you can find seasonal cricket, but it's primarily football content with obviously Chelsea being the mainstay. But I am covering a lot of EPL, and I did cover the Euros, and I have some trivia shows also going on. So hopefully, anyone who checks out my channel, anyone is welcome. Yeah, that's YouTube, and on Twitter and Instagram, I'm active as well as RCBian Chelsea Fan TV. Or you could just search for Ankit Rana. That's my name. That's RAN as a surname. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much again, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Let's just hope it's going to be a good watch for us all tomorrow, and hopefully we get that result. Come on, you Gunners.
Tony, bruv, you're not playing the intro.